All right. Woo, there we go. What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Ms. Entertainment. I am your president of the Real Ass People Society. So, welcome to the Power Hour. We are live every Saturday at noon ish on Terradome Entertainment Radio, where we play the best hits from old school to new school hip hop, R&B, and more. So, go to terradomeentradio.com or click on the listen live button on TuneIn or Live 365. And if you don't catch us live, you can always catch the replays on terradomeentradio.com or on all your major podcast apps. Of course, I'm not in the place alone. Let me introduce my Chief Entertainment Officer, DJ Talented.
What's happening, people? What's going on? It's your boy DJ Talented in the building. And as I say all the time, it's better to be above it than under it. You dig?
All right. And we are proud to have in the studio the International Queen of EDM herself, Turquoise Music.
Very happy to be here.
Yay! I'm so happy to see you.
Likewise. My Wifta sister.
So you're from Miami, correct?
I am not.
Okay.
I'm from El Paso.
El Paso. So how you get to Miami?
I have family in Miami.
Okay.
I'm a military brat, so I lived a little bit of everywhere. Mostly grew up most of my life in Columbus, Georgia, Fort Benning.
Okay.
But Miami embraces what I do. So
there we go. So you from Miami? You from there? we gonna bring you on over to the 305. So how did you like El Paso, girl? I was stationed in Holloman.
Are you? You're military?
Uh-huh.
Oh wow, dope. I don't really remember El Paso.
Okay.
We got stationed somewhere else, like when I was super young. So
you ain't missed
not
nothing.
A lot of no. I know, I ain't missed nothing. Shout out to El Paso though, because it is the hometown.
Yeah, but people call that the armpit of Texas.
The armpit of Texas. Oh man, it's musty.
Like girl, coming from New Mexico, driving that little 2-lane highway going to El Paso, you see the tumbleweeds coming across the road, and it's like, am I in a Western movie?
That's
all we needed, because that's like, oh my God, that's a tumbleweed. But anyway, so in Miami embraces your music. So one thing that I love about you and your music is you don't stick with the status quo. You following your own lane and your own passion.
Yeah.
So how did you come to love the EDM, house, all the electric music? How did that come about?
I grew up on it.
Okay.
Yeah, being a military brat, of course, you're exposed to so many different cultures, so many different genres. So I have an appreciation for like music in general. Of course, my day job is I make music for film and TV.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, I make rap music, country music, I make salsa, I make Spanish music. As an artist, of course, I release like dance music and house music. But I love all music.
Yeah, I love that. I love that because your music goes across different genres. So, but I guess your love is the EDM?
Yeah, my love is dance music.
Yes. Because I know being overseas, you hear a lot of techno. I guess that was the old term, but now I guess it's EDM
no,
now.
It's techno.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely techno. EDM is more of an umbrella term, which houses London bounce, dubstep, trap step, house music, club music, dance music, electronic music.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more of an umbrella term.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I truly embrace different types of music myself because my mom, she loved country music.
Oh.
So when I can sing some of the country songs, people be looking at me like, especially the old stuff.
Strawberry wine.
She loved Eddie Rabbit. That was her favorite artist, and Crystal Gale. So yeah.
Okay.
So we know it. And soft rock, love it.
Dang.
So
Dang.
yeah.
And hard rock.
I'm not there yet.
I love hard rock. I grew up on Metallica and AC/DC, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
The only one I kind of can I like, and I don't know if you even consider hard rock, is Bon Jovi.
Yeah, classic rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So love the Bon Jovi. I mean, especially when I went through basic training, I used to bounce, you know, that's all the little club you can do. Because the club they try. So they go from one genre to the next.
Mm,
They try and
I don't
it
know.
was inclusive, you know. But
Okay.
it's so funny though, because they would play country music, all the black people get on the dance floor. And then when they play something like rap or whatever, all the white
Yeah.
people get off the dance floor and all the black people get on.
Switch.
That's really what it was. I used to sit back and just laugh because the shit was funny to me. It was
Yeah.
comedy. So your day job of making music for TV, how did that come about, and how do you do that?
So it came about because I realized there's no money in streaming. I mean, you really
Just put it
you
out
really
there.
have to be, there's no money in streaming. And so music is my passion.
Mhm.
The arts are my passion. And my thing was like, how do I make money off of this? You know, if I don't have the huge budget like the major labels to market myself as an artist, how do I create, a passive income, so to speak?
Mhm.
And I got into, placing music. I started researching different companies and just started submitting music. And it took years to get that first placement. And now it's like
Really?
I can't keep up with my catalog now. It's too much to keep up with now. I
That's
have
a
to.
good thing.
Yeah,
That's a
it's a
good
good thing. Oh,
problem.
definitely. Yeah, it's definitely a good problem. I had to hand my catalog off to someone else, to an administrator, to handle that
Mhm.
because you get paid differently depending on the type of license, depending on the show, depending on the network, depending on how long the song plays, depending on if it's considered source music or background music. And all of that are factors that go into how you actually get paid. So, yeah.
We're gonna have to talk about doing a class, but that's
I actually used to give a class. I don't know if you know, but I wrote a book called
yeah, I
Your
got your
Music.
book.
Oh, that's right. You sure do. Thank
Girl.
you, sister.
But it's different reading, but versus having somebody sit there and it's like, no, idiot, you need to do this.
Right. Yeah. I was just having that conversation. It's like it's easy to read about taking an engine out as opposed to actually going and taking the engine out
Or
of a
talking to
car.
somebody just to make sure you're doing it right. Because some of us are, I mean, we can read it, but we need that reinforcement by somebody saying, yes, you're doing it right, and blah, blah,
Right.
blah.
Yeah.
And then when you have those crazy questions, you have somebody to they sit there and just answer you.
True.
So
I taught a class before the pandemic.
mhm.
And that's what prompted me to actually write the book, was because I was doing really, really well with the class. I was taking on 10 students a month and really walking them through the process of learning how to place your music in film and television, learning how to start your own publishing company, learning how to format the music the correct way
Mhm.
for music supervisors and music editors. And when the pandemic hit, it was like, okay, we can't be around each other. And so I had to figure out, like, how do I continue, this revenue? And so it's like, wrote a book about it. Like, here you go.
Have you thought about going back and doing your class?
I have, but I just haven't had time.
Okay.
I just haven't had the time. I really wish that I could. I do still do consultations, but just like a class to commit myself to that right now would be totally unfair to the students because I wouldn't be able to fully commit.
We're gonna need you. We need you. So now you recently came off an international. You did your own international tour,
Yeah.
and then you was in Look Up Atlanta. So tell me about those experiences, especially your internet, because your videos are amazing.
Thank you,
And so jealous. Especially the one
Don't
you
be
sitting in
jelly.
the
Just
pool.
come with me next time.
You just sitting back there, just relaxing. I was like, oh my god,
It was
that had to be
amazing.
heaven.
It was amazing. The love that you get overseas is just a different kind of love. It's, here we love people for their brand and we love people for, the way they dress. And it's just, people really embrace the music over there. So that was like a culture shock because people really were interested in hearing the music.
I know. Because that was going to be one of my questions. What are your thoughts versus for your fans internationally versus here in the United States? Because I know it's a different being that I've been overseas.
Yeah, it's definitely a difference. I love my fans in America. I have some die-hard fans in America. And I love, my international fans as well. Being in Thailand was I felt like I was Beyonce girl because they were trying to close the restaurants down for me to come in and eat. And I'm like, I came to be with the people. I want to eat with the people. And so it was like they were like really shocked because I guess, celebrities come or artists come and they embrace that celebrity treatment. And for me, it was like, look, I'm down to earth. I'm trying to meet the girl down the street that comes to the restaurant once a week and see what her life is about and figure her out a little bit and pick her brain and see what she likes. So the difference between American fans and international fans, if I had to put it, just in layman's terms, they just embrace the music more. It's not so much about, oh, you have this many followers or you have that many followers or, oh, you're wearing Louis Vuitton today or you're wearing a Birkin bag. It's really about the music.
How do you book? Because you're independent artist, so how do you book an international tour by yourself?
Well, there's a lot that goes into that.
I know. Sure.
So the first thing is, having a great EPK.
Okay.
Having a great, and for those that don't know what that is, an electronic press kit. Having a great EPK really sets the tone for the way booking agents, the way venues look at you as an artist. If they're not interested in your EPK, they won't move forward to your social media to see, what your activity is. So that's the first step is, having a great EPK. My EPK is actually interactive. So it's not like your typical PDF you open up and just scroll. Everything that's on there, you can touch it and you can click on it, so to speak, and it will take you to that particular performance, or it'll take you to where that music is at or where that interview is at. So that's the first thing. The second thing is great music. You got to have great music. As an artist, there's a lot of artists that are trying to thrive and strive within their hometown. That's not your fan base.
Really? Because you know why I say that? Because we you wasn't here. We had a panel event, right? Because June was Black Music Month, so we had a couple of execs on there. Somebody from BMI title. We had some GSU professors in music and blah blah blah.
Oh, Kate, I missed that.
I know. 'Cause I was like, what were you?
Probably out the country. Look.
You doing your thing. And so but one of the professors, he mentioned that you start at home. You build your fan base here and then you can go abroad. But I think that's not the case for everybody.
No. And for some people that works, and that's the thing about being an artist, especially an independent artist, is that it's really hard to find your demographic. It's really hard to find your market, those that envelop and embrace, your sound and what you deliver as an artist. For me, I love Atlanta. I love Columbus, but it wasn't my fan base. Specifically for me because I do EDM.
Right.
And there is a market here for EDM and they embrace me and support me. I've performed at Imagine Festival several times, which is Atlanta's, biggest EDM festival. And I've performed at pretty much every EDM club here in Atlanta. So I do have a great support system here, but at the same time, in growing your fan base, you have to really, really stretch out and reach out and find out, who rocks with you. One of the reasons why I picked Thailand was because all of my views and when I look at my demographics and when I look at my focus groups, all of my fans, well, I say a lot of my fans were in Thailand, Turkey, Istanbul, Egypt. I have a really big fan base, South Africa and Nigeria. So I get more love from my Thailand fans, or more interaction, shall I say, than I do from my American fans.
I can see
And
that.
so embracing that for me was very important, because they want, you know, content the same way American fans want content.
Right.
So, yeah.
So go back to how. So they see all that. You start off with your EPK for my independent artists is trying to be in your shoes.
Right.
So you start off right there, and then they come and find you, or you just
Well, you find them.
Okay.
We're in the age of technology. So
True.
for me, I used a lot of AI to put that tour together. Yeah, a lot of AI to put that tour together, from writing letters to the booking agencies for me, to, simply telling Chat GPT, there's this venue in Thailand and I want to get booked at this venue. How do I write a letter to them saying that I want to get booked? And Chat GPT wrote a pretty cool letter. And then I took it and tweaked it and made it a little more personable, and it just went from there. So reaching out to those booking agents, reaching out to different venues that don't necessarily book through booking agents would be the second step. And then the third step is proactivity,
Mhm.
is, following up with these people, making sure that you're seen, making sure that you're heard with them without being like stalkerish. You know what I mean? Because like 30 emails in 1 week is like unheard of.
Right.
At that point, they're going to block you.
Yeah.
But, just making sure you find the right timing, researching, what events are going on in that country. The reason I booked at the Thailand tour when I did was because I got booked for Songkran, which is the Asiatic New Year. And so I was able to perform for 10,000 people, during the
Can we
Thai
get a clap
New
for that?
Year. Some snaps, some snaps. Pat myself on the back. Hey, Jazzy, I see you, girl. So yeah, so just putting yourself out there and not being afraid is probably one of the biggest steps in that formula, because people are afraid to start. Some people, they never start. They're so
Agreed.
afraid of failing that they just never start. And baby, when I tell you, I have bumped my head many a times, in this industry, just trying to figure my way out. I'm not afraid to fail. I'm not afraid to be embarrassed of, while failing.
Right.
Because, that builds character.
You
And it
learn.
also marks off a road. Okay,
Yes.
we're not taking that road. New
Right.
road. So process of elimination as well.
Agreed. You can't win unless you're in the game.
Period.
You
Pooh.
cannot. So, and I agree with you. It's like, um, I was part of a speed networking for 21st century is some kids where they're high school kids or getting ready or just graduated. So they came and I was part of one of the just old folks talking to the kids. And the one thing I said to all of them, don't give up.
Yeah.
Life is going to be life.
Period.
And it's going to you're going to bump your head.
Yeah.
But the key is not giving up.
Absolutely.
You keep moving. You keep figuring out what it is you like,
Yeah.
and you keep moving.
Yeah.
Because when you give up, I mean, you really have lost. And
Yeah.
then for what?
That's the ultimate loss.
Yeah, for
is
what?
Giving up. And I've had those moments, where
We
I'm
all had
like,
those moments. like, what the
yeah.
fuck?
And you have to replace those thoughts of insecurity, those thoughts of doubt, those thoughts of not feeling like you're good enough. You have to replace those thoughts, and you have to catch them as soon as they enter your brain, and you have to drown them out with good thoughts, with work.
We work and keep moving.
Yeah,
Keep
definitely.
moving. So with that, how do you stay motivated?
Sleep. I sleep. My team will tell you when, we work on things. And for instance, during the Look Up Atlanta preparation time, I was actually rehearsing for a video as well. So I was spending 8 to 10 hours every day rehearsing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would go for 4 to 5 hours and rehearse with my choreographer. Shout out to Tony DeBerry. We'd rehearse for 4 hours in one venue. and then we'd go to the next venue and rehearse for the music video. So after that, I went to sleep. I rested because, a lot of people, especially in the industry, they have this mentality of no sleep gang, all work, no sleep,
I'm
and
guilty of that.
that's such a detriment to an artist because you're not your best in on a creative level, on a performance level when you're tired. I've done shows where, I literally got off a plane and went straight to the show after, working and working for hours and hours and hours. And I look back at those shows and I'm like, yeah, it's good to the crowd, but just the self-criticism, it's like, oh, you can tell you're tired. Oh, that note wasn't as crisp as it could have been because you're tired. So one of my biggest things, and I know that probably sounds crazy to a lot of people, when it comes to motivation, is actually resting and actually knowing that I am rested enough to pull out my full potential and capability in whatever I'm doing.
That's good. I haven't made it there yet.
It's hard to get there.
It
It's
is.
hard to force yourself to lay down,
It
especially if
is.
you're creative, because there's like so much going on in your brain. Like I've written songs like in a half sleep and have literally, like woken up out my sleep, like, I gotta write that down. Like, I don't know where that came from. And then it's
I
hard to go
immediately
back to
grab my
sleep.
phone, put it in my
Right.
notes,
Okay.
go back
And
to
then it's
sleep.
hard to go back to sleep after that because now you're invested in the idea. So it's been a really big challenge for me. Um, for a long time, it was a challenge for me. For a long time, I had that mentality of go, 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 go. It's, I was proud to be tired. And now it's totally changed for me. And I'm way more motivated. I'm way more productive. It's like you can't be motivated if you're tired. Like, I don't care if you got a life coach, if you've got somebody on the phone in your ear every day, you got this, you got this. Like, you can't hear them if you're tired.
This is true. Because when that thing hits you, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
you ain't moving.
Very much so.
So you write all your own songs?
For the most part, I write
Okay.
all of my own music. I really took the time on the EP that I'm working on right now, which is unnamed. Uh, I really took the time to bring in other songwriters
Okay.
on this particular project, just because I wanted to collaborate. I've been, out here networking, and I know some really, really great pens. Some people that are a monster with the pen. Shout out to Maddie B. Maddie B wrote a song that I have that's on my EP called "Give It More." Um, in essence, we co-wrote it, but she wrote the bulk of the song. I wrote the second verse. She wrote the hook. And the first verse.
Mhm.
And it's an amazing, amazing song. And what she wrote to it for me was something that I never would have written that.
Mhm.
I wouldn't have even been in the ballpark of writing what she wrote. And it was definitely, I would say, something new for me because when you write your own songs, well, this note goes here. Well, this note goes to here. I might put a at the end of that, or you know what I mean? But
Mhm.
when someone else writes it and sort of gives you a reference for it, you have to take it and make it your own. And I didn't think that I was going to necessarily like that process, but I ended up actually loving it. Like, I'm so looking forward to collaborating with other songwriters, and whether it's them writing the entire song with me or whether it's me actually sitting down with them and, collaborating, and writing it together.
Okay. So do you have a process when you're writing a song, your creative process? Is there something that you do? I have to do this, I have to have set this mood, or is there?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Again, I've written songs, in coming out of a deep sleep or going to bed with something, on your mind. I've written songs like that. I know you're familiar with Inhale, Exhale.
Mhm.
I wrote that in the shower.
Oh, wow.
I literally wrote that in the shower. At the time, I was still bartending, and Ian Bruiser sent me Ian Rosario. He goes by Bruiser. He lives in Alaska. I've never met this guy. We have a plethora of placements together. He sent me the track, and I love the track, but I had no clue what to write to it. And I actually had the track for like a year
Oh,
before
wow.
I actually wrote to it. And I'll be at home and I'll just put, tracks on that either I've produced or that other producers have produced and sent to me. And I'll clean up or just, chill or whatever it is I'm doing, playing with the dogs, playing with the kids, whatever. And that particular song, like, I wrote it in the shower. Like, I literally got out of the shower all soapy and grabbed my phone, had to dry my hands off and typed the lyrics in and, got back in and started washing again. It's like, oh, that goes good with that. Hop back out and type that, So I'm unconventional. I don't have a process for writing music or producing music.
Okay, that's fine. That is definitely fine. Um, so what's the best advice have you received, and what's the best advice have you given to others?
Those would be one and the same.
Okay,
Everybody can't go with you.
say that again.
Everybody can't go with you. In the church say amen. Yeah, everybody can't go with you. I've been learning that. I'm still in the process of processing that spiritually, emotionally, mentally. I have people that I've known and have been cool with for years, and their perception of me did not change with my growth. And so that creates an issue because
Say more into that.
so a lot of times people see you and they see, where you came from, and they're happy to see your growth until your growth means that you may have to leave them or that they can't necessarily fulfill a need in what your project is or what you're working on. And so, that creates I wouldn't say animosity, but it definitely is a conflict of interest. Um, just this year alone, I've had to really separate myself and at sometimes isolate myself, from people because, working for yourself, of course, um, in opposition to the person that's working, a 9 to 5 or working a day job, people don't think necessarily that I can't pick up my phone. It's like, oh, you work for yourself. Why can't you pick up your phone right now? Or why can't
Still got
you
bills.
come over and do this? And it's like, they have no idea that working for yourself is like so much harder
It
because
is.
while you're at your job and you're, an associate at your job, or you have a specific title at your job, that's your job. You may have to dabble and dibble into, other things to, make your goals met for your company or the company you're working for. But on my end, I am the marketer, I am the promoter, I am the administrator, I am the CEO, I'm the COO, I'm the producer. Like, that's a lot of positions, and people don't necessarily comprehend that because they go to a job and check in and clock in and they have to give a certain amount of hours. I have to give twice that many.
Yeah, because if you don't work, you don't eat.
Period.
You get that automatic check every week or
Period.
every 2
I don't
weeks.
get PTO.
Right.
I don't have a 401k from my, employment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So the isolation is important. Separating yourself from the naysayers.
Definitely.
I've had to separate myself from people that I say, hey, this is my idea. And the first thing they do is, well, how are you going to do that? Like, listen, if you rock with me, let me dream in my moment, because every situation, every dream, you're going to have, problems. You're going to have hurdles that you need to cross to make your dream come true.
Mm-hmm.
But in that moment, let me dream. Let me dream. And then we can be logical, after that. So people, they'll see you and they want to see you grow. They want to see you make it. But then when it dawns on them, like, oh, she's going to go overseas on tour. I have a job. I have to stay because I have a job. And they haven't made themselves relevant in my situation in the sense of, oh, I do this at my job. Let me apply those skills to help, and be on her team. And they realize that they don't give any value in that aspect. and it bothers them.
I would never understand that because every if you're there, you're there. Whatever you're doing, respect it and then just embrace it.
Yeah.
And vice versa. So I don't know. Hell, when one of us make it, we all make it.
Period.
That's how I
Yeah,
look at
each
it.
one teach one, we're I'm in a space where reaching back is important for me, but I'm also in a space where I'm learning to have discernment in who I should be reaching back for,
Mm.
because everyone doesn't deserve it.
Right? You can't be somebody's cheerleader if they're not cheerleading themselves.
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't be your biggest cheerleader and you just sitting back waiting.
Yeah. I'll give you the perfect example. A relative of mine wants to be in the music industry. I gave this relative my book, which is $147 book, for
Mhm.
free.
Ooh.
Absolutely free. Also told this relative, if you have any questions, I will gladly explain things to you, if there's things in the book that you didn't understand. And never a phone call, never I need help understanding this. And when I did finally see this relative, it's like, so what did you think of the book? Oh, I didn't really read it. I skimmed through it. But can you help me get my music out there? No.
Oh, you can say yeah for a fee.
Absolutely not. Because some things ain't worth it. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Some things it's not, it's not worth it. And people think that you owe them,
Yeah.
because like, oh, you're here. Why wouldn't you teach me how to do this? And it's like, you have no idea how many boxes of Legos I had to buy to build this foundation, and then it's like they see your foundation and they want to hop onto it. But I've had to make that really a prevalent thing within myself, to have that discernment of, do you even deserve my time?
Mhm.
Do you deserve for me to take my time, is money, which is money,
Yeah.
to educate you? And if I've given you a resource that is absolutely free to you and you don't take advantage of it, then why would I give you my time? That's crazy. That's insane.
I look at and I was totally respect that. But I said, oh, so I need to reclaim my time. So I'm gonna charge you a fee.
Yeah, for real. And I do. That's, I on my website I actually have a consultation tab where you can click on and request a consultation. And that's actually what prompted me to do that, because when I first published my book, there were people that I felt that deserved it.
Mhm.
And I felt that they deserved it because they held a place in my heart, or because I thought, hey, this person is really awesome. But then I realized, like, giving them the book, some people actually read it. Shout out to Relly the poet, who is one of my students. She actually read the book. She even booked consultations. And like, she's got a whole poetry album out there right now that's like
Nice.
amazing. It's actually the only thing on my playlist in my car. Her and another artist named Jawan. Shout out to Jawan. But everybody doesn't deserve your gifts.
Mhm.
Everybody doesn't deserve for you to pass down necessarily the knowledge to them until they get to a space to receive it.
Yep.
Everybody's not ready to receive that. And so it's been a big thing for me. And I'm having discernment in that, in fear of wasting my time.
Yeah. Because your time is money.
Here.
So what you got coming up next? Let's talk about that.
So I'm working on my EP, which again is unnamed. I'm considering naming it Bionic Woman, just because the bad accident that I was in, the 2 accidents that I was in. I've had 7 surgeries. I've got 6 pins in my knee, 3 pins in my hip, prosthetic hip. I've got 2 plastic and metal discs in my neck. I've got screws in my lower back. So I'm thinking about naming it the Bionic Woman.
So do you set off the alarms when you go through the airport?
Only in Miami.
Which is weird.
Only in Miami. And I don't know if they have theirs like tuned up a little bit, because it's Miami, it's it's international, it's it's closer to a port. Only in Miami. And then they swab my hands. They swab the back of my hands. They swab behind my ears. They swab behind my knees. They swab the inside of my elbows. Yeah,
You damn near naked. They just swapped the whole body.
yeah, it's really weird, but I'm used to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm used to it. I know some of the TSA officials that work in the Miami airport, not personally, but just because I fly a lot
Mm-hmm.
and I'm familiar with their faces. So I make sure I go through their line.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, girl, come on, let me swab you down. All right, girl, go have a good day, girl. You know. But yeah, so my next project is an EP. It's a visual EP, 6 songs, 6 videos. I'm still in the process of trying to figure out with my team whether these videos are all going to be released as one project or if they're going to just be released consecutively. But that's what I'm working on right now. It's predominantly dance music, club music, house music. And yes, I have something for my family, for the gays, hunty. So it's really a project that I want to bring people back to the dance floor.
Yes.
Like, I really hate the fact that, and I really don't club that much unless like I'm on the stage. So like just out, going out like to a club. And I hate to say this, but specifically like the Black clubs, like it's real goody mob. They don't dance no more. They don't dance no more. And people are like IGN and nobody's moving. I went to an event the other night, which is like R&B Tuesdays with Orion, Omarian's brother, a good girlfriend of mine, Jasmine, who does live production, took me out there, and I was like with her, and I was like, so we just gonna sit around all night and just listen to music, and then eventually, like, people started dancing, and I was so fulfilled because it had been a long time since I'd been in that type of environment, and people were actually dancing. Like, if you go to Believe or you go to Domain, which are EDM clubs, as soon as you walk in the door, people are dancing.
Right.
They're moving. Like, they have no shame. Most of them can't dance, can't hold a beat, but they are there to move their body. They're there to have a good time. And, they put their phones down. And shout out to Chili, my boy Chilio, because he is one of the culture movers in Atlanta. And his policy is no phones on the dance floor. And when he throws a party, everybody's dancing.
Yes.
And so that's my goal with this project, is to bring people back to the dance floor because it just ain't dancing no more.
Have you thought about putting on a concert and you like, I guess, or even a festival of your own?
I have some things in the work with the festival of my own. Of course, there's a bunch of preliminary steps that I have to take to make those things, make that happen. But I am definitely, there's definitely a seed planted. And I've already trademarked everything. I've already copyrighted everything. And so now it's just about creating a plan of action, finding good dates that, don't intertwine or clash with other events, and just really, getting some people out to move their body.
So is that something that has happened here in Atlanta?
What, like a festival?
EDM festival?
Oh yeah, Imagine Festival.
Imagine Festival.
Which is, I think this is their 7th or 8th year.
Okay.
And they started out at Masquerade.
Okay.
And this was before Masquerade was remodeled and turned into the beautiful venue that it is now. But they were at Masquerade, and then eventually they moved to Atlanta Motor Speedway. And then from Atlanta Motor Speedway, they're now in I think it's called Kingston Downs, which is like up 75, like going towards Canton, Marietta area. And I want to say they bring out 100,000, 150,000
nice
a year. Yeah. And it's crazy because like a lot of people don't, know about Imagine. Like when I've been every year. When I go, I meet yeah, exactly. I meet so many people that I've met people from Portugal, from Paraguay, from Costa Rica, from England, from Australia that have saved their entire summer or winter, shall I say, to fly to America to come to the Imagine Festival. The same way they do like Ultra and Coachella. Like they save their money and actually leave their country and come to see these DJs and see these performers. So it's like Atlanta definitely has a great festival. And shout out to all the people that work. Imagine, shout out to Jacob, shout out to Bass Family, Josh Chavez. Um, they're some of the catalysts in that keep the EDM culture here in Atlanta and keep, relevant DJs coming in. So yeah, there's definitely a culture here in Atlanta and a festival.
I would, because Black people are not monolithic. They have a plethora of different things that they enjoy or participate when it comes to music. Sometimes I feel like we get pigeonholed into either your hip hop or along that realm. Because like I would look at like the Essence Festival, it's supposed to be moving into more of a cultural type festival, which it should include something like EDM.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I don't think it does. At least I haven't seen.
I haven't seen that either. And I think a lot of people don't, especially for Black folks. Like my experience with introducing EDM to Black people is always like, it's always an eye opener for them. Like my Black friends that have never been to a festival, and I take them to a festival and they're like, I ain't never going back to a club. When we going to the next festival? Because it's like we do get pigeonholed into, being
just one style of
genre
music.
restricted.
Yes.
I'll use that. I don't know if that's the right word. But yeah, being genre restricted. And I would love to see Essence Festival embrace, more house music. House music is probably the closest that,
more
Essence
just
Festival
different
gets to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this came from us. That's the thing of it. Dubstep, trap step, they originated in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
The bass, the drum, like that's what drives electronic music. Of course, it's switched over into electronic,
Right.
but nevertheless, the base of it and the culture definitely is a derivative of African music, and that's all regions of Africa.
Yep. So, what's her name? We talked about her last week, but hopefully we'll get some more. We'll branch out for us to Essence because I love the Essence Festival.
Did you go?
I didn't go this year. It's been a couple of years now, but I've been several years for it, and I enjoy the, I guess, the conference stuff when you're just sitting down and watching the panel discussion. I know my husband like, oh, I'm sleepy, but
too much talking.
He's my kind of guy. Sometimes it's just too much talking.
But I can sit there all day. I just need, they keep it cold up in there, so you gotta bring your jacket. But yeah, I can sit there and just listen to that, and then after that, you go and grab you something to eat and get ready for the nightlife.
Okay.
And you're going out to the what's that? The Superdome. We're out down there in New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yeah, go from just sitting there watching performance. Because if the main stage ain't popping, you can go to the super lounges,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So they got stuff going on all the time.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to see. I think one of the entryways that we're witnessing right now is Afrobeats, which for EDM lovers and people like myself that frequent festivals, Afrobeats is not new to us. It's new to a lot of Americans.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I've been listening to Afrobeats for decades now. I've been listening to Afrobeats infused with dubstep, infused with clubhouse, infused with trance, infused with techno. So I would love to see that being more prevalent in festivals like the Essence Festival that are a predominantly, Black culture. Because we're out there.
We're there. We're more than just one type of genre.
Right.
No restrictive. So Miss Caroline Wanga, she's over the Essence CEO. Let's do it.
You hear that? Look.
Let's do that, and you can contact us. We'll help you with that. More you, but I'm still
that part.
But yes, I love different types of music. I definitely embrace all of that. So you got to take me so we can go, so I can have that experience. Because I, be honest, I have not been to. My daughter has, but I have not.
You would love it.
Yes.
You would love it. It's
Just to see
probably
people
the
just out there enjoying
most free
themselves.
you will ever probably be in
Yes.
a musical environment.
I love that.
And there's no judgment, you know, that
That's
and
the part.
that's the thing about
That part right there.
that's the thing about EDM music and electronic festivals is there's also a culture there, and it's a culture, which is in what's the word where there's it stands for peace, love, unity, and respect.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget what you call those words that you spell out, but you can say, but it stands for, each letter stands for something. I forget that word. But yeah, it's peace, love, unity, and respect. And it's definitely prevalent in the culture. There's no judgment. You can pass someone, they go, you look like you need water. Come on, let's go get you some water. Like, it's just such a loving environment. It's such a non-judgmental environment. I can, you know, get in the middle of a field at electronic festival and swing my hair and lay on the ground and connect with the earth, and nobody's gonna look at me like, what is she doing?
Right.
Now go to one music fest and do that, and they're like, security, we have we've got a young lady, she's gone rogue on the festival floors here.
Yeah.
So no, you definitely love it. So you're officially invited to Imagine Fest with me.
Okay.
It's gonna be amazing. You can have a good time.
I'm looking forward to it. I love it. I love it because, like I said, just people just being free, just to express however they want to express, and no judgment, nobody looking at you side-eyed.
Yeah,
that's the ultimate high.
Yeah, because even when I've gone to events that are like us, and I'm like the only one dancing, and people are looking at me like, she on an X pill? Like, actually, I don't do any of those things. I'm just high on life right now and listening to good music. But for some reason, like, that concept of actually going to the club to dance has been like, it's like cliche now. It's taboo. It's weird.
How did we get there?
Where did we go wrong?
Yes.
How did we lose the children?
Yes.
You know.
Well, awesome. So when are you projected to have your EP drop?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Well, it's coming soon.
That's like the $1 million question right now. And my team is like, we know you're an artist. We don't want to rush you, but hurry up. So I'm working on the last 2 tracks right now. I'm 3 videos in, which means, of course, I have 3 more to shoot. I recently collaborated with a producer out of Russia, and his name is Cheesy. And so working on some stuff with him, and we should be done with what we're working on within the next month. And so overall, that would complete the music part of the project. And I don't want to disappoint my fans because I know they love my visuals, and I want to make sure that they are on visual overload with this project. So I'm sort of stuck in between actually giving them just the music and a few visuals and then following up with more visuals, or waiting until all of the visuals are done and giving them everything on one platter. But, you know, we'll see. I've got some meetings with PR, and we'll see how that works, you know, because that's not what I do. I just make the music and
and I like your videos because they're you're almost like the Missy Elliott of EDM. I mean,
that's such a compliment.
Because I mean,
I'm gonna be on a high all day for that one. Don't play with me. Excuse me, sir. Don't cut me off. I am the Missy Elliott of EDM.
Because I mean, there's no boundary.
Yeah.
There's, you know, and that's what I love about you. There's no boundary. There's no, you just however your creative process, wherever it takes you, that's where you go.
Wait till you see these new visuals. I've got eyelashes that light up.
Oh my goodness.
I'm literally in the middle of a city on a clock.
Okay.
Like, it's gonna be crazy.
That's what I'm looking forward to. That's what I'm looking forward to. All right. Well, I just appreciate you. Don't slip forward.
Don't you hit the floor. I'm gonna hit the floor with you just so we can make it look like it was planned. But I'm gonna laugh after I know you okay.
Girl, to be a Libra, I am so unbalanced at times when it comes to moving.
That is so
look,
true.
I love that play on words. And look, he's seconding it.
Oh,
Look,
yeah.
I'm sick of it.
Girl, I trip upstairs, trip downstairs, the wind blows. Ah!
I'm the same way. I'm super clumsy. And then especially like after like being in my accident, like my equilibrium is like always off. Like I can still dance and move. And I don't know, for some reason I'm more grounded when I'm like dancing and moving, but like just walking or standing is like sometimes a challenge.
It is.
Okay, so it ain't just me. I don't
No,
feel
no,
bad
no. I'm
more.
right there with you. Leading the pack. All right. I don't want to be mindful of time, but I still want to get to our real ass question of the day. So, DJ Talented. Okay, I got a good one for y'all. Basically. All right. So you are invited to a house party with one of your white friends. So they come and pick you up and y'all ride together. Y'all get to the party, everything cool, right? You know, it's a mansion, lots of people, everybody just standing around, chit-chatting, whatever.
Mhm.
So you do notice that you're the only person of color there, but you know, everybody's cool. So that's fine. You know, you dismiss it. So you walk over to the area where the food is, you know, huge spread, they got everything, right? So you notice there's another table. There's a huge lifelike bar of chocolate candy on the table. Once you get closer, you notice that the chocolate bar of candy is in the shape of a dead black man laying on his stomach. Yeah, what do? When you look at it, it's the shape of a black man. Now they laying on his stomach and they looking like they dead, but it's chocolate. It really is chocolate. How do you process that?
And so I came with my white friends.
Uh-huh.
I go tell my white friends because all of my white friends are allies.
Mm-hmm.
And they gonna turn some up. They gonna turn it up. I ain't gonna have to say nothing.
Okay.
I'm going to tell my white friends.
And they looking like I don't see what the problem is. What's the problem?
Oh, well, then they can't be my friends. No, but my friends, and I have a great balance of cultures, genres, religions, identities, of friends, and I've had some moments that weren't exactly like that, but were similar, to me being called out of my name, being called the N word, and I've had to hold my white friends back. Like, we can't go to jail right now. We got stuff to do. You know, it's like, nah, that boy just called you. Oh, nah, it's just going down. You know, ultimately, I would just leave. Before I would leave, I'd definitely get some video, get some content, because everybody's getting outed.
Yes.
Everybody and their mama is getting outed. You know, somebody you about to lose your job. That's my answer to the real ass question of the day.
DJ Talented.
I'm on the same thing she on. If the white friends are true friends, fuck the color. But if they true friends, then they gonna do what they need to do when they see something like that.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I'm not going nowhere without my gun anyway. So if it get to a point where they on some stupid shit, it'll be what it is. But then ultimately, I'm gonna call me an Uber and I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same here. Now most of my real ass question of the day is something I've actually seen. So that I saw that on IG. It was at a party, and it was a chocolate black man laying out on the table. They don't cut off the head. The head lay into the side, and it was surrounded by a whole bunch of white people.
Why is that stuff still problem? Why? I don't get it.
Mind blowing.
That was mind blowing. I was like, oh my God. Now,
Yeah,
how
that's
you
definitely
get
not the space for me.
I
don't want to occupy any space where I'm not wanted. Now we're
But
gonna
they say it's
take up
just
space.
candy.
Okay.
Candy my ass.
It's just
You got this
candy.
man sitting up here, you done chopped his damn head off.
Yeah, the head holding
Yeah, that's
over to the side.
weird. And when you saw that, was that like a black person was the person that was it was from their perspective and what they had experienced?
The picture it was just a whole bunch of white people surrounded by the table, and it was a chocolate person that looks black just laying out there. They made some big chocolate bar.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, and it just it looked like, I mean, a full body, not just a head. It was a full body. It was a long table
Oh, I totally interpreted that wrong.
with butt and everything. So it's like you can't, unless you're there. You can, if you're looking at it, it's like, okay, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, that's super creepy.
That was
I
super
remember
creepy.
that picture, but I totally interpreted it wrong.
So
And I didn't know it was chocolate either.
yeah, it looks chocolate. That's because if you look at it, that definitely look like a chocolate bar. They shaped it out as a person.
What?
So I'll show you a picture. But yeah, I thought, because I looked at it, I was like, what's going on here? Because just looking at it, you can definitely take that in one or two ways. But I wouldn't make a body, and definitely not chocolate. I just wouldn't do that. That's almost like making a chocolate baby, and you sitting there eating it. That just creepy to me.
Well, hell, they eat chocolate bunnies, so I mean.
That's true. You're right about that.
No, I totally get the point that you're making. I totally get the point.
Yeah, that was,
and I totally agree. Yeah,
that was a little creepy to me. So I was like, I think I would have left. I was like, I don't even want to try and figure this out. I'm not going to sit here and figure this out. Let me remove myself from this.
But yeah, I would be on my Denzel Washington. Oh, you bitches getting cases. Like, you about to lose your job. I'm going to be handing out pink slips like Oprah gives away free cars.
Yeah.
You getting fired. You getting fired. You getting fired. Because I'm getting all y'all on video.
Yeah. So it was a little creepy to me. But
and I'm like you, brother. My peace going to be with me everywhere I go.
Always.
Well, that's why I don't like to ride with folks. I'll meet you there.
That's definitely like, oh, girl, I'll meet you there, girl. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, because when I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I don't got stuck too many times. It's like, see, you should have drove.
Yeah. And thank God for Uber, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, this was before Uber, but yeah.
No, you definitely been in that boat before, for sure.
Yeah, just stuck. And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But that was my real ass question of the day.
That was a good question. What y'all think about that question?
All right, let's move on to celebrating some Black excellence. All right, there we go. So every week we recognize and celebrate the achievements and contributions African Americans have made to this country. Today we celebrate Brian Stevenson. Brian Stevenson is a public interest lawyer and founder of the Equal Justice Initiative. The EGI was uncovered 800 previously undisclosed lynching incidents, as well as helped dozens of wrongly condemned prisoners on death row gain reversals of their convictions, relief, or release. Mr. Stevenson was instrumental in the creation of the Legacy Museum and the National Memorial for Peace and Justice, two cultural institutions that detail the enduring effects of slavery, lynching, and racial segregation of African and Black Americans. So today, Byron Stevenson, we salute you for your contributions to making this country great. All right, upcoming event. Night of Expression is back on August 2nd, kicking it off at 7 p.m. We have some amazing artists, plus, of course, some open mic. And we're coming to the north side, Ground and Pound Coffee. It's a nice spot, so don't let the coffee fool you, because they have a full bar and food. So it's very intimate.
You got to do it, say food.
Yeah. So you get there early to reserve your seat, RSVP on Eventbrite, and that is August 2nd, Night of Expression. So Night of Expression, we have folks in there that's going to be performing, doing spoken word, anything where they're expressing themselves vocally or expressing themselves, because I've had actual painting artists come in and talk about their paintings. So it's just it's just a platform for artists to, have their day, just that day. So
that's cool.
Well, actually night, but anyway. And we are at the end of our show. But before we close, we need to pay some bills. So here's a word from our sponsor. All right. Shout out to dude over there, producer extraordinaire for some of those beats. If you have any questions or comments, email us at info@terradomeent.com. That's info@terradomeent.com. Any final words? We start with DJ Talented.
Final words. Make sure your friends are your friends before you go anywhere with them. Because there's been some situations out there where people thought some of them other people was their friends and they end up dead.
Well, some of the people, period. Because remember the girl that went to, what was that, Mexico? Yeah.
Them. And then also the one black girl that went somewhere with a bunch of white girls and
She ended up dead. Yeah.
So I mean, make sure your friends are your friends.
Yeah.
Take that.
Yeah.
Love that. Use that. All right.
All right. Turquoise music. Final words, Miss Lady.
Ooh, my final words have to be save yourself. Save yourself. You cannot, when you're on the plane and the oxygen level drops, they always tell you to put your mask on first.
Mm-hmm.
Save yourself, because you cannot save anyone or help anyone without helping yourself first.
Totally agree.
Put yourself first. Put your peace first.
There you go. And she said that. All right. Real ass quote of the day. Let your dreams be bigger than your fears, your actions louder than your words, and your faith stronger than your feelings. All right. Join us live every Saturday at noonish for the Power Hour with the Real Ass People Society crew here on Terradome Entertainment Radio, and catch the replay of this show and other shows on terradomeentradio.com or on all your podcast apps. And you can hit us up on IG at Power Hour _raps _crew. I'm your president, Ms. Entertainment. You can contact me at MIZZ _entertainment _ATL or Power Hour _raps _crew. And my chief entertainment officer,
DJ Talented _1 on Instagram.
all right, Miss Turquoise Music.
You can find me at Turquoise Music, and shout out to Maddie who just joined in. That's the songwriter I was talking about earlier.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Maddie.
Hey, Maddie.
And you can find me at Turquoise Music across all social media, and the website is turquoisemusiconline.com.
All right. And as I always leave you with this, be kind to each other, love one another, keep God first. Thanks for joining. Stay safe, and we're out.
Peace.